Hello students, today we are going to start the first chapter of geography, that is endowments of nature. Before we begin the chapter, let us understand what is resource. Just look around and observe. You will be able to identify many types of resources. The water you drink, electricity, the textbook that you use are all resources. So, anything that can be used to satisfy our need is a resource. Now, you must be wondering that what makes an object a resource. So, its usability or utility only makes an object a resource. Then question comes, how does something become a resource? Anything becomes a resource only when it has some value. That value means it has some worth. It may be either economic value or non-economic value. For example, metals have an economic value, whereas the landscape does not have any economic value. Now let's come to the next topic, that is types of resources. Resources are mainly classified into two, that are natural resources and man-made resources. So, resources that we obtain from the nature without any much modification are only called as natural resources. Then, these natural resources are classified on the basis of their level of development and use, that is, origin, stock, and distribution. So, the first one is the classification of natural resources on the basis of the development. So, on the basis of level of development, resources are divided into two, actual resources and potential resources. Coming to actual resources, resources whose quantity is known and which are being used at present are called as actual resource. For example, coal and petroleum. Whereas potential resources are the resources whose exact quantity are not known and not being used at present. For example, uranium. And the second one is the classification of the natural resources on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin, the natural resources are classified into two, biotic and abiotic resources. Abiotic resources are the resources which comes directly from non-living resources like salt, minerals, etc. Whereas the resources which comes from living beings are called as biotic resources like plants, animals, milk, leather, etc. We get it from who? From these human beings only, from living beings only. Then third, classification of natural resources on the basis of utility. On the basis of utility, the natural resources are classified into two, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So, renewable resources are the resources which can be quickly replenished like wind energy, hydel energy, solar energy, etc. Whereas non-renewable resources are the resources which cannot be quickly replenished or renewed like coal and petroleum. Then the fourth comes classification of natural resources on the basis of distribution. On the basis of distribution, the resources are divided into two, local and ubiquitous. Ubiquitous are the resources which are available mostly everywhere in the earth. For example, air and water that can be found anywhere in the earth. Whereas localized resources are the resources which cannot be found everywhere and are not available in each and every place. For example, coal mines. These are the resources which can be found only in few places. Then the last one, classification, is on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, resources are classified into four. First one, individual resources. Resources which are owned privately by the individuals. For example, a plot of land, a car, etc. Second one, community resources. Resources which belong to the community of people. For example, ponds, community halls, parks, etc. Third one, national resources. Resources which belong to the people of a particular nation and lie between the political boundaries are only national resources. For example, rivers, minerals, forests, etc. And the fourth one, international resources. Resources which lie beyond the territorial waters of a country are called as international resources. For example, mineral resources, fisheries, etc. Then we have second main type of resources, that is human-made resources. When a natural resource undergoes drastic change by human intervention, it is called human-made resources. For example, iron ore is processed to make steel. In human resource, people are the main sources, and it enables to improve the quality of people's skill to create more resources. Now let's come to the last topic of the chapter, that is conservation of resources. How do we conserve the resources? Most of the natural resources are limited in stock. Even some of the renewable resources are going to become scarce if we are not going to use them judiciously. Like, we are already facing scarcity of water, and even scientists have proved or predicted that coal and petroleum are going to be exhausted soon in future. Hence, it is important to conserve the resources, as it not only secures the present generation but also the life of future generation. Thus, making a balance between our needs and conservation of resources is called as sustainable development. We should follow the 3 R's of conservation for sustainable development. Now, what are those 3 R's? First R is reduce. We should reduce our consumption. Second R is reuse. We should reuse the materials or the resources which we get especially from the nature. The third one, recycle. We should recycle resources as and whenever possible. So it's our responsibility to maintain and support the life support system that nature provides. We need to ensure that all the uses of renewable resources are sustained. The diversity of the life on the earth is conserved. So with this, we wind up the chapter. Thank you.